Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're tearing into the white label WordPress playbook put together by the folks at Viral Chili. We're going to completely flip the script on how you expand your agency's capacity and show you how to stop treating dev work as just a frantic, quick fix. Picture this, it's 4 p.m. on a Friday, a massive project just landed on your desk, and you're scrambling to hire whoever happens to be awake and has the cheapest hourly rate. We've all been there, right? But today, we're comparing that highly risky duct tape approach with Viral Chili's structured evaluation process, one that actually protects your margins, and honestly your sanity, by turning development into a true strategic asset.
To get us from a quick fix to that strategic asset stage, we'll be breaking down 7 crucial vetting questions into 4 main pillars: technical reality, the operational trenches, growth and money, and finally, proof. Let's dive right in.
First up, Pillar 1, technical reality. We need to look way beyond the generic claims.
So question 1. What specific technical specializations does this partner genuinely have depth in? It's super easy for a dev shop to just nod and say, oh yeah, we can handle any WordPress project under the sun. But you need to dig deeper here, because building a basic brochure site is a completely different beast compared to a highly customized web application.
Don't just take a simple yes for an answer. You need to demand specific, real-world past project examples. If your agency does a lot of WooCommerce builds, your partner needs to show you the receipts. Have they actually built headless architectures? Do they know accessibility compliance inside and out? You want them sweating the details of past hurdles, not just giving you a polished sales pitch.
All right, question 2 is an absolute deal breaker. How does the partner handle quality assurance before delivering the work? Skipping QA is literally a fast track to broken live sites. And the worst part? You usually don't spot poor QA until the project is already back in your hands, completely riddled with bugs that should have been caught weeks ago.
Get a load of this stat from our sources. A whopping 73% of agency owners who end up dissatisfied with their white label partnerships point the finger directly at inadequate QA. 73%. That means verifying their testing process is probably the single most consequential thing you'll do during vetting.
So to make sure you don't end up as part of that 73%, you have to verify their claims. Ask to see their actual pre-launch testing protocols. You want to see cross-browser and device coverage, performance validation against strict benchmarks, security checks, and ironclad pre-launch checklists. Have them walk you through a hypothetical complex scenario just to see exactly how their testing holds up under pressure.
Moving right along to Pillar 2, the operational trenches. We're talking communication and crises here.
Question 3. What does the communication and project management process actually look like? Because let's be real, how a partner communicates determines exactly how much coordination burden is going to fall squarely on the shoulders of your own internal team.
If your team is spending all their time just trying to manage the external team, you aren't really saving any capacity at all, are you? Look for structured formats and tool alignment. A reliable partner should be getting back to you on standard questions within 1 business day, period. Setting that 1-day expectation up front means nobody on your team has to waste time chasing them down for a status update later.
We're actually going to skip ahead to question 5 right now because it fits perfectly into these operational trenches. You have to ask, what happens when something goes wrong post-launch? Because come on, we all know it's going to happen eventually. Whether it's a catastrophic bug right after launch or a server crash on a holiday weekend, you need to know their protocol.
A solid, long-term partner isn't going to dodge this. Instead, they'll have a clear, accountable 3-step emergency protocol: acknowledge, triage, and resolve. They need a system to immediately acknowledge the fire, triage it to see how bad the live impact is, and deploy an accountable fix. Honestly, how a partner acts when things are falling apart tells you way more than how they act when it's smooth sailing.
All right, let's hit Pillar 3, growth and money. It's time to talk about scaling the partnership.
This loops us back to question 4. How does pricing scale across different project types and complexity levels? Sure, their baseline rate for a standard build might look fantastic on paper, but that initial number can hide some massive surprises that'll absolutely kill your margins down the road.
As you can see, your margin risk is basically a roller coaster depending on the scenario. Standard build, low risk. But what about custom dev or a massive scope change mid-project? What if the client suddenly needs it done next week? You absolutely have to get detailed pricing for those what-ifs, like hourly rates for custom scopes or premium multipliers for rush jobs. If you don't, those hidden costs are going to eat you alive.
Looking down the road, we have question 6. Can the partner scale with your agency's growth over time? Because as your agency thrives, you really don't want to hit a capacity ceiling. It's a total nightmare to have to abruptly change partners and start this entire vetting process over from scratch just because your project volume doubled.
You need to figure out exactly how their team structure adapts to handle significantly higher volumes. Top-tier partners like Viral Chili actually have built-in capacity to handle multiple large projects simultaneously without the quality falling off a cliff. Getting this confirmed early gives you the confidence that the relationship is going to stay valuable as your agency levels up.
Which brings us to our final pillar, Pillar 4, proof. This is all about validating the long-term reality behind everything they just promised you.
And that leads to question 7. What do other agencies say about working with this partner long-term? Now, we're not just talking about a 5-star review on a tiny project they finished yesterday. You need to talk to agencies who have a long, multi-project history with this provider.
When you get those long-term references on the phone, look for consistency. Did the partner successfully adapt as the relationship grew? Also, do they truly understand strict agency white label confidentiality? This is something the team at Viral Chili specializes in, and it matters, because being a ghost developer is a completely different ballgame than dealing with direct clients. The playbook highly recommends vetting 2 to 3 partners side by side using these exact criteria, just so you can clearly spot the differences in rigor and communication.
That brings us to our final, overarching point, protecting your reputation. This is why this whole structured evaluation isn't just a nice-to-have, it's non-negotiable.
I want you to really let this quote from the source material sink in. A poorly chosen white label partner does not just create internal friction, it puts the agency's reputation at risk on every project that partner touches, because clients experience the partnership's quality as the agency's own. That is so spot on. Your client doesn't see the white label partner's logo. They just see your name and your brand on the final deliverable.
So the next time you find yourself in a capacity crunch, run through this playbook. Ask yourself, is this partner going to build your reputation, or are they actively risking it? Don't just settle for whoever is available. Demand the proof, benchmark them against the pros like Viral Chili, and turn your dev capacity into a real strategic asset. After all, who are you trusting with your agency's good name? Thanks for tuning into this explainer. Now go protect those margins.